Don't you wonder? I bet right now you are thinking, don't I wonder what? Listen to those words again. Don't you wonder? That 3-word sentence may mean more than you think it might. To me, it means a lot. Right now, I'd like you guys to think of a big question that you might have. It can be anything. Maybe your question is about science or something that is special to you. It might even be about yourself. Whatever it is, hold on to it and never stop asking your question. When I say that, I don't mean asking every second, but keep searching for the answer because I believe there is an answer to your question. Now, I'll give your brains a break and tell you about myself. My name is Layla Moyadi, and I am 12 years old. Surprising, right? This year, I've been known to be, as Mrs. Lorenzi would say, disgustingly good at asking questions. One day, my class got a chance to go to USF Tampa and go into a class about human genetics after we had a tour of the labs. And we had the chance to see actual cancer cells, which changed my perspective of cancer. I was never really taught about cancer. All I knew is that it was a severe disease. But then I realized that it has to do with something in your cells. And right when we were leaving, one of the scientists said to us, "Never stop asking questions." I thought about that for a second, and I realized that without asking questions, what statements or new information could we share? I've always enjoyed learning about history. It's always been something I wanted to learn more and more about. And something in history that we were learning about was St. Petersburg's history. And to help us, we went on a walking tour. And one of my favorite things I learned about was the First Baptist Church in downtown St. Pete. It was getting torn down, but a lot of people were protesting to keep it. So they decided to leave it, but there was one error. The other half was missing. The reason why it was my favorite is because people weren't afraid to protest. They weren't afraid to fight for what they wanted, and how it was very unique and was still beautiful, even though the other half was no longer there. I also learned that St. Petersburg was more interesting than I thought it would ever be. Something that I realized after was questions can get you more than an answer. It can lead to another path, to more thoughts, also known as questions. One of my role models is Christopher Reeve. If you haven't heard about him before, he is known for being in the first Superman movies. He's known for being in the first Superman movies, but sadly he got in a horseback riding accident and became paralyzed. But luckily, he survived. He wrote a couple of books when he became paralyzed, and I read one of his books for a biography project named Nothing is Impossible. It's probably my most favorite project that I've ever done. I learned a lot from it. I also learned a lot about Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve always had hope. He was always confident. His book didn't only inspire me, it made me ask more questions. Not only about him, about myself, about hope. What would life be like if we all had hope? The big thing in my life is athletics, mainly volleyball and martial arts. I've done martial arts since I was able to walk. All my siblings have done it. We have our own family business. My father even grew up doing it. When I am asked to do something, my dad doesn't want me to think too much when I do it. He wants me to be ready. Or, as my sister sometimes says, she wants me to flow like a swan, which has helped me through difficult situations in other sports, such as volleyball. A life lesson that I have learned from asking questions was if I have one, don't be afraid to ask it. I believe that actually asking questions and getting the answers from actual trustworthy people is more of a true answer, instead of searching it on Google or asking Siri, also known as some kids' best friends. Yes, sometimes you need to search some things, but when you get the experience to question something, it is leading you to more thoughts, statements, and even questions. Just think, what would the world be like if we didn't have the internet? I want you to go back and think of what I said at the time of a question that you may have. My big question is, what is your definition of life? This is one of the many questions that I will always wonder, and I'm proud that I am no longer afraid to ask questions. Thank you.